Welcome to the EmpowerHer Entrepreneur podcast with Janis Boudreau, the ultimate destination for fearless women business owners ready to conquer their next level of success. Get ready to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit as we dive deep into all things related to building your empire, setting ambitious goals, and scaling your business to new heights. This podcast is your go-to resource for empowerment and encouragement. Tune in every week as we inspire, motivate, and empower you to embrace your full potential as a woman entrepreneur. Welcome to Advanced Lifestyle and Business Podcasts. I'm Janis Boudreau, and I'm a heartfelt leader in the area of business development and a strategist that is focused forward on teaching women to make dreams, set goals, and create an actionable business blueprint for success. Well, everybody, we are back again. Hello, my empowered ladies. We are talking about paperwork today, which is everyone's least favorite thing to do. You're going to notice with these podcasts, I've been really having a lot of fun because business, lifestyle, having all that we want comes with so many different things that lead us there. And it's those unfun things that can cause us a big problem in the end if we don't take care of them. I know that we have always learned in school and probably throughout just our lives from our parents that you can't be skipping the steps. You can't get to that time of abundance and enjoyment with your business if you don't start doing the stuff right from the beginning. Well, it seems to be everybody's least favorite thing to do. I know paperwork is one of the most powerful and crucial parts of any of our businesses. And ladies, there are no excuses. Let's ask yourself, do you know what needs to be filled out? Do you know what you need to have paperwork-wise to run a successful business? Are you doing everything you can to protect yourself and your company? You know what? Paperwork, whether it's a hard copy or a digital, helps us to operate everyone much more efficiently. I can give you a lot of experience about this, especially from the creation of my business until now. I think that had I had someone to mentor and guide me, I just really missed so many steps, or let's just call them subsections along the way. Instead of there being 1, 2, 3, 4, there was 1 A, B, C, D, 2 A, B, 3, whatever, on and on that I should have taken care of. I think the excitement for most of us as we're going through creating our businesses, we get so excited and we feel and we think that we are seeing that everything is meshing along nicely. I recently was very excited to speak at my national conference for my line of business in London, Ontario, and in front of all my colleagues. I was able to talk about what was really needed in our business. I think out of one of the topics from all of the years that we've gone to conferences, this was such a hot topic. There are so many things that we're not thinking of, and I'll be honest, it protects us. It's at the end of the day, God forbid a lawsuit comes against us, or the dreaded government. Nobody wants the government, CRA. We don't want anybody after us that's not rated, right? Nobody likes a red flag, and it can often carry on with you. So speaking at this conference, I mean, it just awoke in so many women, predominantly women there, that they didn't realize, they actually thought they were running a very tight ship or successful businesses, but there was so much lacking in each section. So sometimes, I mean, this isn't the fun part. This isn't marketing. This isn't selling our business or coming up with goal ideas. It's sitting down and asking yourself, wait a second here. Exactly what do I need to operate? What do I need? And let's call it the paperwork. And we are all big procrastinators. I'm aware of this, and we think we can put it on the back burner. Let me tell you, it's the first thing that's going to come and bite you in the butt later is that one step that you missed for paperwork. So what I did in my business is really took a day to sit down and outline and research I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anybody to coach me or have a 1-hour session with. And I started to break down everything from the line of business. What I need to do first was incorporation papers. It's very important. I run a large medical corporation. So there are things that I needed to do, and I didn't necessarily do them in my first years of business. And yes, it did cause me a problem later. But designating maybe you are in coaching, you're in a different aspect. The first thing was incorporating, of which I did do myself. That was a first big step. And then I broke it down to, okay, are there permits here? What kind of structures do I need to set up within my community, my town, government agencies, speaking to someone in accounting? I mean, I've helped to run my husband's business and then I ran mine. So are you versed on all the payroll paperwork that you need to create? Even if you're not going to have any employees, are you setting yourself up properly to get everything you need into files for your end of year expenses as you're running off a self-employed person? So that's some of the things that I do, and I definitely meet with my empowered women clients, is we really start to break down what is out there, and we do it step by step, which is kind of like what I talked about in the last podcast about prioritizing our steps and how very important they are. We can't get from one place to the other safely without it. So again, incorporating, then looking at the structure. Do I have any employees? Do I have that properly set up? Checking with my local government. Is this HSTable? There's a lot. There's really is a lot of paperwork that needs to be filled out. And then there's consents. Are you in the type of business that you need to protect yourself against huge liable things that could happen to you from somebody taking advice from you, somebody walking in your door, receiving a treatment, taking a service? Are you making sure that you have all that in place? I really researched all of my stuff in the beginning and got it good. I now do use a huge legal team that does all my new consents and things like that. Going back to employees, that's another thing too, is having a really great employee agreement in order, or if you're subcontracting out, making sure that's in place. These are all some of the things. I mean, it's really great to enjoy your goal and have your business, but asking yourself if it's set up properly is one of the things that can either make or break you later on. Absolutely. Another thing in your business in regards to paperwork is if you're dealing with people, the best way to explain it is how I started this new company, Advanced Lifestyle and Business. Did I just go out there and start a company? No. My website was already done. I already had my paperwork. I already had things that needed to be handed out, consents, different policies and things. You don't want to be caught off guard with whatever business you're doing that you don't already have a lot of your paperwork done. I mean, it doesn't look that great to clients if, let me get back to you in about 2 weeks. Now I've got to go write it. Or I'm just coming up with that now. People like to see a very well-prepared business. I mean, hey, it happens to me too. Just last week in my other company, our whole medical management software went down. We couldn't find scheduled appointments. We couldn't find different things. I'm not talking about that. We all have glitches. I'm currently right now a member of a big women's organization. They had a huge glitch where VIP memberships were deleted, had to be restored. I mean, I felt so bad for them. But I also know that that's a company that had their I's dotted and their T's crossed. They had everything absolutely set up. So what it is sometimes that paperwork that annoys us so much is the one that shows that we are responsible, our integrity is strong in our business. we are backing ourselves up for what we're offering people. So talking about client paperwork, yes, if you need rack cards, pamphlets, business cards, if you need information papers, I am telling you, if you could ever take, like I said, a full day and just say, okay, this is my paperwork day, I'm going to break it down, or I'm going to take a mentorship with somebody or a coaching meeting, and I'm going to get my final list of things that I need to start to produce. There are so many avenues out there, and I know there's a lot of courses out there to create them, but I think a good place to start is just developing your list. And you know what? None of us are perfect. I know even right now in my medical foot care company, we are always changing and developing and realizing that we may need more paperwork and sometimes less. Sometimes we have to just audit ourselves. Maybe you're talking to me now and you created your company 5 years ago and you've never really did a paperwork audit to see, am I up to speed, or is there anything going to bite me later? I would suggest to all of you to sit down and do that audit, or again, get some professional help to make sure you don't want to be in that last minute stage where now you may be in a court of law and you don't have everything and you don't want to owe back money to anybody. I think that would be the absolute worst. I definitely, I would say I audit myself and my business about every 6 months, just to make sure everything is maintained very smoothly. Along with paperwork is saving paperwork. Do you have a really great system that you are documenting expenses, receipts, things coming in and out of your company that you can take a quick look back? These are all of the things from the beginning. I swear I've got to do a podcast on like all my favorite apps and things to use, because boy, over the last couple decades, I have really come to love different things that I can use on my computer or apps that make all of that so much easier. But that is a part of paperwork also. I mean, you can have a huge filing cabinet, or maybe hit the dollar store and get one of those filed separators. And once you sit down and do your paperwork audit, you can start to separate in those files. Again, maybe you're coming to me and you already are a corporation, but nonetheless, same thing, do it. These things in business are so successful, but even in lifestyle, in your lives, this is something huge too. Is everything in your home up to date? Is your paperwork in order? Are you losing money in places? I mean, ladies, we cannot have the lifestyle that we live if we do not have order, and that includes the dreaded paperwork. I hope I've given you guys some hints about how important it is along the way. Like I was saying, let's go back. Create your audit, sit down, pull a day to do it. Break your business down from what you do into every single section. Then break it down into subsections. What are you missing for paperwork? What is the thing that you're trying to ignore? Because you know we all do it. It's no different. I think the best example is when we build up a little credit card debt. I swear to God, I see that most people, when it's about money, we don't even want to look at it. So we think the best thing to do is to ignore it. So you're doing your audit, you got your sections, and now you're developing your subsections of paperwork you know you'd believe. If you get that funny feeling in the pit of your stomach and you're just like, yeah, that's probably the area you need to look at most. It's the area that's going to make you feel the most uncomfortable. It will often be the thing you leave last, the thing you want to leave just out of your mind. So when you're doing your audit for your business and for your lifestyle, what is standing out to you? What gives you that god-awful feeling? And honestly, probably move that up to the top of your pile. That's probably where you're lacking. And then just go from there. Again, you can choose to find out what you need professionally for your sections and subsections. Sometimes it's just Googling. It's using resources that are out there with free business companies. Or you're more than welcome to join me in, I have VIP monthly sessions that help people break down exactly what they need to be doing. I want to mention too is I'm always doing the different podcasts about different areas, and it can be a lot, and I generally do it weekly. You should not, you have your daily operations, and then you have things like this that are seen as a separate, like this, the paperwork project. You should be not trying to do multiple projects at once. So if last week I talked to you about prioritizing your steps, that could be one thing that you're concentrating on in your daily operations. I would have started that first. And one of those things you prioritized last week for your steps should have been paperwork. What did I have to get done? So this is a very separate, you should basically try to do 5 things at once. I know that we're multitaskers. My God, most of us are moms, corporate women, beauties, wives, partners, best friends. We've got a lot on our plate, that's for sure. I'm just trying to say, please, ladies, when listening to the podcast, if you haven't completed something from last week, when you're working on a project, don't move on to the next besides your daily operations until one is finished, because then you get lost. And paperwork is not one of those things that you want to screw around with and do it somewhere in the middle. That's for sure. The biggest thing, protect yourself legally. So what do? Employment, what kind of structure do you have? What kind of services are you offering? Am I set up properly with my government? Am I set up properly with local jurisdiction for what I may need permits with? Break down paperwork that you might be giving to clients. Consent forms. Think about it. Like I said, this can be the one thing that saves you later on. Don't leave it to last, ladies. All right, I'm looking forward to talking to you guys with more podcasts to come. This was kind of the dreaded one that I didn't want to talk about, but I thought, wait a second. I'm seeing too many times where I'm meeting women and I'm talking to them, and whether it's just a new start business or maybe it's a really successful business that's been around for quite some time, I can pick up on it almost right away where they're leaving spots. And it does have a lot to do with paperwork that they're like, oh, I didn't even know I needed that. Oh, shoot, do you think I should have done that? Oh, yeah, that sounds smart. Those are comments that I hear when I start to kind of pick apart and question the in-betweens of what they're doing, how they're protecting themselves, and kind of, again, what paperwork is in order. It's very surprising, and that's why sometimes I say it's really nice when you're hanging around with a group of other professionals, or we're bringing ourselves right to that level where we're gaining from others, and surrounding ourselves with other empowered business women who are trying to grow. It's amazing what can come out of those conversations. I'm a very analytical and kind of a strategist. So those are definitely my strengths when I get together with my other empowered business friends and clients. Is I'm like a detective. I'm starting to pick apart what needs to be seen or addressed. Often, and believe me, I've taken some really great I don't want to call it criticism, but when they looked at my business and said, and I'm like, what? And I had that aha moment. So sometimes too, that really does help, having another person take a look in and pick up on those missing paperwork steps that could make or break you. I just do. I see it a lot when I get together, is that we're so excited about our businesses that we're kind of not thinking of some of the things we may need to have. So do it, ladies. Try and get together and talk a bit about it or keep watching the podcast. I love definitely producing something each week. I am hoping to always do this, not only to inform you about really, really important business things and maybe slow you down, but I'm going to try to give you definitely some leadership, some self-image, something that's going to bring you up to a level that lets you know that you are worthy. You are worthy of this business, of having it, of doing well at it. And these are the type of tips that I'm giving you on my podcast, which also I do encourage you to then, some of the reason I'm doing this, so you understand who I am and what I have to offer, is that you may go over to looking at a VIP membership, or you may jump in on some of my really awesome webinars that I have that definitely break down paperwork or social media or imaging, talking, growing your business. I have probably at least 50 topics to cover. A lot of the monthly or yearly memberships I have, that's all included. Or I do webinars are always fun. Oh my gosh, the one for social media I recently did was such a hoot, and so much came out of it too. Sometimes it's just the simple steps. And you know what? You may be doing something out there absolutely right. So this might just be reassurance, and what a great thing. So thank you again, ladies, for being here today. I hope to see you next week. Enjoy your week, and don't ignore the paperwork or it will find you. Take care. This is Janis Boudreau signing off. See you next time, my empowered women. Think big, act fast, and be unstoppable.